Live from the White House, Primetime Live continues. Now from the Yellow Room, Sam Donaldson joins the First Lady.
We're back on the second floor of the White House here in the Yellow Oval Room. Mrs. Bush, I guess it's obvious how it got its name.
It certainly is. Isn't it a beautiful room? This room at one time, Sam, has been the office of President Roosevelt, Eisenhower, and Truman. And it was in this room that Roosevelt heard about the December 7th attack on Pearl Harbor.
It's a more formal room.
Notice I said December 7th, please.
Well, it's your husband that occasionally makes that mistake. It's a more formal room. And
yes.
Jacqueline Kennedy restored it, didn't
It's a beautiful room. Yes, it is more formal. And I bring up wives of heads of state and have teas here. And then George and I bring them up for the state dinner. But I don't use it as much as...
What, but you used it, I'm interested, you used it for the family portrait.
That's right.
Why did you select this room?
Well, because there's only room you can get 22 people in one long shot.
Yeah, but there are another 225 of you.
We did them outside on the steps.
Okay. In this room, you have a favorite painting here
Well,
also.
I love this Tarbell painting. And it actually is not in the White House collection, but it's a borrowed painting, and people are very generous in letting us keep it. But it's just where it should be, sort of on the hill, and it's up, and I love that.
You know, we can't avoid it any longer. Millie has joined us.
Millie's always with me. She's my shadow.
Now, I got to ask you something.
Yes.
How did you react when the Washingtonian magazine said she was the ugliest dog around?
Millie,
Millie,
she is
stop
pretty
that.
ugly right now.
She's on national television, Millie.
Come on, Mill. Well, I didn't like it, but George reacted. The president gave a much bigger reaction than I did. I apologize.
He scared him stiff.
That's right.
You know, these flags here, the presidential flag and the United States flag, I think the only other place I know of where they're standing in the White House or the Oval Office. What are they doing here? What are you doing?
Well, they're there, and when we have a state dinner, and only 4 of us know it, it's so sad because it's one of the most beautiful ceremonies, up the grand staircase come...
Millie, stop that.
Military people, and one from each of the services, and they march in and they do what military people do, and they go over and they ask the president first if they may take the flags, and they do. And it's really sort of funny because George lines us all up here, the 4 of us, and we're all in our evening clothes, and these wonderful people march out, and just as they get to the door, they dip the flag, and these awful poles come up, and we all back immediately.
Have you ever failed to back?
No, but I come very quickly.
Well, this is a formal room, and interestingly enough, it's near the most informal setting in the White House.
That's right. It's really wonderful. Let me show you the Truman balcony, which is a great addition to the White House.
President Truman, when he built it in '48, had a lot of opposition, I understand.
Did he? I wasn't alive then, Sam.
Well, it's in the history books. This is grand.
Look
you
at
entertain a lot here.
Oh, yes, we do. And we've had the Mulrooney's for lunch here, and come over here, right in the middle. Look how beautiful.
Yeah.
And I had a luncheon here earlier this week. We have people quite often.
How often do you entertain? Is it true?
All the time.
You go out every night?
No, we don't go out every night, but we entertain. Here he comes. Ask George Bush how often we entertain.
Do you object when she dubs you Pearl Mesta Bush because you entertain so
I
often?
didn't make that up.
Well, who did?
The protocol chief at the United Nations 1,000 years ago made that up about George.
Does the lack of privacy ever get to you? I mean, this is the most private outdoor place you have in a way.
And it's very private.
No, we have secret gardens.
Secret gardens?
Yes, we have secret gardens.
Cloisters around the
lot.
That's right.
Facilities down here, and the fun is to walk down to that gate and see the people from all over the world standing, and we can go down and talk to them, admiring the people's
Mr. President, do you actually go out in the evening and talk to tourists? What is their reaction when you come ambling up?
I'm a little surprised,
but two or three nights ago.
We did a couple of nights ago, and half of them are from overseas. This is the symbol to so many people around the world of America and of the people's house.
Not
so it
to
is
pry, but do you ever just sit out here in the dark when people don't know it and look out at the monument?
Sure.
Okay.
Come home after work and sit here before dinner or afterward. But the fun is we've had like President Mubarak of Egypt and his kids, and they come here and then they get the pictures with the Washington Monument in the background. Gives our foreign visitors a real feel. And interesting, this monument was to be built in a direct line, but then it was arranged that it would be moved off to the sides, the Washington Monument, so the people here, President here, could see the river better. Then they came along and built the beautiful Jefferson Memorial Riverview somewhat obscure.
Let me ask you a question for all the gardeners. I also have geraniums at home. They do not look like those.
Don't they?
How do you do it?
You don't have a green thumb, I guess, huh?
I don't have a gardener.
National Park Service does a wonderful
really?
job for us. They're just
Absolutely
wonderful. But these have not been changed daily. These have been here. They're just good gardeners.
I'd like to see your office.
Let's
which
go.
we'll do.
Let's
in
go
just
take a look.
Okay.
You ready?
Now, you put a little dirt in here. What?
All right.
So almost, are we still on?
Have you driven a Ford?
Now, during the official Ford clearance, get low 2.9% financing or up to $1,000 cash bonus on Ford Ranger. Get 2.9 financing or $1,250 on Bronco 2. Plus, get up to $750 on select F-Series pickups. Combine the cash with option package discounts and save over $2,200 on Ranger, over $3,400 on Bronco 2, and over $3,200 on big pickups. See your dealer for details on all the great values during the official Ford clearance.
I love the honest wheat taste of Kellogg's Mini Wheats. But the frosting side agrees with the little kid in me.
The nutrition shredded wheat helps keep me on my toes. But the little ballerina in me thinks the taste steals the show.
Kellogg's Mini Wheats. Shredded wheat nutrition for the adult in you. Delicious taste for that part of you that'll never grow up.
The fiber in mini wheats gives me a great start. And when it comes to the great taste, I'm just a kid at heart.
I'll have what she's having.
Sunday.
They nominated Corky for president.
Corky, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
The premiere of Life Goes On. And Winnie's a witch with a wild and wicked wit.
She's like a kid and a grown-up at the same time. Like Pee Wee Herman.
The premiere of Free Spirit. Then,
Hit it.
the New York Times says, funny and touching. The children are adorable. The premiere of Homeroom will rock you. That's 3 new series premieres for a memorable Sunday night.
What do members of the First Family do when they go on vacation? What else but take pictures of each other, oftentimes just like the rest of us.
Dad, how are you playing today?
Very well, Dorothy. I'm at the peak of my game.
How the Bushes spent their summer vacation. When Primetime Live continues after this from our ABC stations.
Hello, I'm Keith Jackson. Coming up Saturday here on ABC Sports, a college football doubleheader that is really Big Ten packed in. It starts at 3:30 Eastern Time, the Ohio State Buckeyes and USC Trojans. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the Michigan Wolverines and the UCLA Bruins. So, college football, Big Ten, Pac-10, Saturday doubleheader here on ABC.
Hello, I'm Dave Eckert. Coming up at 10, Kansas City has a new high-rent district, but it's not someplace where any of us can live, yet it still may affect all of us. We'll explain on KMBC 9 News. Who owns 7 human embryos? We'll have the outcome of a very strange case involving divorce and custody. And a lot of dreams are dashed in Kansas and Missouri. We'll explain. Here's Brian.
Dreams are dashed, especially if you're vacationing down in the southeastern part of the country. Thanks to Hugo, we'll talk about him and the weekend forecast at 10. Now this.
Play Riders Lucky Trucks game. Win a toolkit, a Uniden phone, a Magnavox clock radio, or maybe something bigger. Check Sunday's paper for details.
Join us for KMBC 9 News at 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. At Shoney's, our strawberry pie... really hit the spot.
The Huxtables take a look back tonight on Cosby. Off the center hallway near the middle of the White House is the president's study, which President and Mrs. Bush now use as their family sitting room or den. Mrs. Bush has applied her personal touch to the White House just the way other first ladies have done in years past. Jackie Kennedy redecorated the White House because she did not like the way she found it. Mrs. Kennedy said it looked as if it had been furnished by discount stores. But little John Kennedy had all kinds of fun romping around the big house. And inside the White House, he had a special hiding place, which didn't stay hidden from the White House photographers.
We just saw a picture of young John Kennedy crawling out from under a desk, which I'm sure was this one,
This very
right?
desk, the Resolute desk, because this thing opens out.
Oh, I see.
And this desk was over in the Oval Office for 8 years with President Reagan, and then his predecessors had it, I think, varying times from Truman on. I think President Carter used it. I moved it over here to this room, which used to be the cabinet room and offices also for presidents. And I love this room. I come over here in the evening and work.
Can we
Diane, Franklin Roosevelt, you know how he loved the sea?
Yeah.
That was his desk set.
Can you just call over and say, give me something from Franklin Roosevelt, give me something from Abraham Lincoln?
Yes, and I can ask, and they are very accommodating. They have a marvelous, almost like museum of presidential things. And of course, this is where I work too. This is not showbiz. This is I still try to type my own little notes to people, and
you type on this?
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with your technological daring.
Well, that's all I understand. I don't understand all that little dictation. And
this is a picture of
picture
your
of my
father.
dad. Yeah. That's back when he was in college, but it's just something fun to have here.
You also played baseball at Yale.
Yeah, I played. I loved the game. Loved the game.
Alike.
And good communications here, obviously.
Well, now the hotline is a teletype, right? The hotline is
To
not
the Soviet
one of these
Union,
phones.
yes. Yeah. That's a regular secure phone, so you pick it up and you're guaranteed security if I'm calling Secretary Baker or someone of that, Brent Scowcroft. And then this is regular. You've heard of the White House operators. They are marvelous. You pick it
They'll
up
find you.
Find whoever it is. And it's not all work up here. I keep in this closet. I'll give you a sample of my wares here. But this is where I keep, do a little practice putting out here. You know, this is the famed Orville Moody putter that has now rescued me.
That has made your game
Well,
bionic,
it's not good,
right?
but it saved me from just total embarrassment.
Well, what is your handicap?
The best I've had was 11, but today I couldn't play to twice that. But I don't work at it yet. But I enjoy the game. I love the game. This is, you know, these are some Russells, beautiful pictures of our West. That's an original Russell bronze there. And this is very special. This painting, I specifically wanted it here because it's Lincoln in the last days of the war, two of his generals, one of his admirals, Admiral Porter, and the rainbow shows the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, or the hope that was in the picture as the war drew to an end. And Lincoln, known for, properly revered for freeing the slaves, kept the Union together. And there's
Lincoln is such a brooding presence
painting.
in this house, though, and I get the sense that you don't think the presidency is splendid misery, as someone said.
Well, I haven't been tested by fire. Abraham Lincoln had that goal of holding the Union together, keep brother from killing brother. I mean, it was tough.
What are these?
Kids' things, and I'm a kid. These are little toy soldiers, very nice ones, lead soldiers.
Did you put them up here?
I stuck them up here, and then I had grandchildren climb up and get to pull up a chair and look at them, and there's Lee and there's Grant.
George Orwell said once he wondered if kids could be trained to play with little tin pacifists and lose their appetite for war.
Well, George does it his way, and I'll do it mine. Two Georges. This is fun.
This is for the grandkids, I presume, unless you really stumbled on a secret here.
No, this is where they come in and you want to have, I don't know what you want to try. I'm not sure you want to try these on.
Do you think that would scare Sam, if it might?
I think they're marvelous, but I just, this house is a combination.
Now, this is the trophy chest, right?
I mean, these are just pictures that we happen to have here, and all through the house we have them, but His Majesty the King of Jordan and my dear friend, the Prime Minister of Canada.
And famous tennis players who have played with me.
Tennis players I have known, and, well, upon the court with whom I've stepped, it's more that. I'm a name dropper. I love getting out there, kind of Walter Mitty. Yes, I hit with Lendl kind of thing, you know. Poor fellow.
If this hadn't been your life and your career, would being a professional tennis player
I
have
wouldn't
been
have
it?
been near good enough. But I love the game. I love the competition.
Would that have been your dream?
One of the
though?
highlights in my life was sitting, this is serious, watching R2 two of our sons play Pam Shriver and Chris Everett, both of whom happen to be our friends. But it was a dog-eat-dog match, and it's great.
All the sports in this family are dog-eat-dog, I
Well,
think.
the sports are, and there's a lovely Winslow Homer. That's a picture of the Maine coast, which is great.
We've had a chance now to see where you work in the evenings. Let's join Mrs. Bush, and she's going to take us down the hall and then into the room where the family gathers in the evening.
Let's do it.
Listen, Diane, nothing scares me. This hall that we're in, you use it for more than walking, don't you?
We certainly do. Well, of course, we receive a lot of people, and we have receptions. We have the piano player playing, and we have the grandchildren and the dog running up and down.
And they pitch tents here.
They do not pitch tents here. We have a
Look
third
me in the
floor.
eye. They pitch tents
They
here.
do not pitch tents here.
Okay.
We have a third floor, or they go outside. But
I think this picture is remarkable.
well, it is remarkable.
Now look at here. I want people to see this. Here is a picture of a woman looks like a housewife from Midland,
Not
Texas,
to
on her
me.
haunches.
No, this looks
And who
like
is this?
Queen Elizabeth II to me.
It's the Queen of England.
The Queen of
But
England.
don't you think, Mrs. Bush, that's a remarkable picture for her to allow to be taken?
No, because she's a great animal lover, too, and she went down to Kentucky to visit our great friends and her great friend. And who did she run into but
Millie.
my puppy? That's not Millie. That's my grandchild. That's Bar. That's Will and Sarah Farish's puppy. And the Queen gave that to me in England, along with a very stylish, beautiful portrait. But I love it. It's the nicest thing. I cried when she gave it to me.
You did?
Yeah,
Tell
so
me about
sweet.
the china here, because that really is
Well,
historic.
these are just different pieces from different presidents' china, but it is historical. This is the part of the Vermeer collection, the Biddle Vermeer collection given to the Eisenhowers. But I love this, Sam. Here is china that was picked by Abraham Lincoln. We have lunch on that sometimes, which is fun. We don't eat on the actual plate. It's a place setting.
You're very careful, I take it.
Oh, very careful. And then this I'm a little embarrassed to tell you belonged to Franklin Pierce, who was related to me. Only embarrassed because I noticed it's badly chipped.
What do you think
Pierce's
happened?
throw, I think.
You
We
think
just-
they threw it at each other?
I hope not.
And
They
their
were gentle
descendants,
folk.
their descendants are not that way.
Very distant cousins.
All right.
We do not throw.
Let's go down and take a
All
look
right.
at what? The sitting room?
The sitting room. Yes, but first, look at this wonderful Thomas Eakins painting. I love this. I love it for a lot of reasons, but I brought Mrs. Johnson up here one day, and she was so cute and said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see that little girl." She said, "You know, one day I was leading a group right through the White House upstairs tour, and she said, I got to this little girl, and I said, isn't that the grumpiest little girl you ever saw? Have you ever seen a little girl who doesn't like what she's doing more?" And she said, a gentle voice spoke up in the back, and a man said, you'll be glad to know she got very nice when she got older. I married her.
Well, we've
the
all put our
sweetest
foot in
thing?
our mouth occasionally.
Only you, not me.
I confess.
Well, occasionally.
This is your sitting room.
This is our sitting room. This was a bedroom of presidents for years, and this was, President Reagan's office, and I think maybe Jimmy Carter's, I think.
But most of this furniture is yours.
This is ours.
As compared to the ones we've seen in the
up,
room.
except for that absolutely ravishing piece that belongs to the White House. But we picked up a room at the Vice President's house, our upstairs living room, and brought it here. And these hangings are from, George and I bought them when he was our ambassador to China.
But the
And
most interesting thing is not what you bought, but what you made and were standing on it.
that's the rug. This rug I made, and I started it in China. Here's my name in Chinese in 1975, and I finished it in the Vice President's house in 1983.
You have a lot of animals depicted in the
That's
rug,
right.
but the one I want you to tell us about is this rabbit right
I think
here.
I'll tell you about the raccoon. No, all right, I'll tell you about the rabbit.
Listen, you may tell us
know
about
this
anything
story.
you want, but the rabbit is an
rabbit,
interesting
well,
story.
when I got home from China and the Ford-Carter debates were going on, we were home, why, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a rabbit? And I have to confess, because of Playboy magazine and the Bunny Club. So I thought I'll just do a bunny because nobody will ever hear of Jimmy Carter again, which shows you what a great politician I am. I'm always wrong. But having said that, I did it during the Ford-Carter debates, and then he got attacked by a killer rabbit. So it made it particularly appropriate. I might also
Well, you really
add-
know how to hurt a fellow, don't you?
No,
He's in
I'm
your
not
rug.
hurting him. That was just, I just thought that would be all of these things I've done.
This is a
something.
wonderful room, but we're going to have to move along because
All right.
we have something to show everybody
What's
from
that?
your Kennebunkport vacation in August, as you know, and we'll do that when we come back.
All right.
Primetime Live from the White House will continue in a moment.